Hello and welcome to Piano Shack with me, Woody. I promised you a comparison of the Go Keys 3 on the bottom and the Go Keys 5. So that's what we'll do today. I'll also explain why you might want to spend the extra 150 bucks to get the 5, or perhaps why it's not worth it for some of you. And of course, even though they sound the same, I'll also play you some tunes on the Go Keys 5. Okay, let's talk about some of the cosmetic differences first. Remember, the 5 is on top because you wouldn't know. Otherwise, they are very similar, exactly the same size, exactly the same keys, exactly the same sounds, but there are some key differences. Cosmetically, the 3 is available in this lovely midnight blue. I'm not sure if that's the official name, but it's a dark blue. You can also get a dark red and a turquoise, which I'm told is the very most popular colour in the range. Whereas on the 5, the more expensive model, you only get this nice charcoal colour and white. So, has to be said, if you want the cool colours, you're better off with the 3. Although this is very attractive. It's not black, it's a kind of mid-grey. Looks really nice. There are a couple of differences on the control panels as well. On the Go Keys 5, we have buttons to switch the microphone input on and off and enable or disable the microphone effects. Whereas that feature is lacking on the 3, so we just get the Bluetooth and metronome buttons. And I assume those features are available here as well. Well, I know they are, but I assume they're buried in the menus instead, which is a good decision because these are performance controls, something you might want to manipulate during a performance. So great to have them there on the control panel. But all of the action on the 5 is hidden here away on the input and output section on the back. I don't know if you can see, but on the Go Keys 3, there's very little going on. We have a headphone output and on 3.5mm and a sustain pedal, the USB connectivity, and that's it. But here we actually get a pair of proper stereo line outputs. I think I'm pointing to the right thing, but I apologize if I've got it wrong. The text is black on black, so I can't really see what's going on. Anyway, a pair of stereo line outputs. I have here a microphone connected to the microphone input. Don't get that here. There's also an auxiliary 3.5mm line input. Very nice. Missing here. And you get the sustain pedal, but an extra control pedal as well for connecting, for example, another pedal or a expression pedal. And then you can't see it, but back here we've got exactly the same. No, I lie. We've got one extra USB port for connecting like a thumb drive. I'm not sure why you need 2 though. So you're probably wondering, what are these extra buttons for? The microphone and the effects. Well, you get a vocal harmonizer and a voice transformer.
Is this just real life, or is it fantasy? What you get for 500 bucks is pretty amazing, I think you'll agree. Harmony, 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 harmony.
This is voice transform. This is voice transform. This is voice transform.
This is a fantastic feature if you want to send a ransom message to somebody.
Or maybe if you want to do chipmunk noises. It's pretty good as well for that. Or you can do chipmunk noises. Or you can pitch your voice up an octave, then it sounds like this, perfect for chipmunk sound effects.
This is the sound of a trio. This is the sound of a trio. A nice trio. This is the sound of a trio. This is the sound of a funky trio. This is what it sounds like. Studio tour, but wait, it's attached to the floor. Studio tour.
Mind blown! I've left out an. Okay, another difference that I will try to demonstrate or at least explain is that the speakers are upgraded on the 5. I can see there's an extra opening here, which is sealed off here. These have a, what do they call it? They have a passive radiator. I thought that was for heating, but in this case it's some kind of acoustic speaker box. So I'm going to play them both, the same sound, the same style, and let's compare. You'll hear the sound over my lav mic, which won't be ideal. I've got them on the same volume. Oh, yes. Okay, I'm actually hearing a little bit more treble in this one as well, but the most important difference that I'm hearing is a lot more bass, a lot more low end. These things, well actually, the whole casing is vibrating with the music. A lot more low end. This is fine as well, but it's lacking those sub frequencies that I'm hearing here. It's actually quite a nice upgrade if you like bass.
This video is sponsored by absolutely nobody. I make videos for fun and not for the money, but it's a lot of hard work. So if you like what I'm doing here, then just please subscribe to the channel.
Why did he upload this rubbish? So let's try and answer the question, which should you get? This is $500, this is $350. That's the price in the US, check your local prices. So $150 extra, is it worth it? Well, I would say this, if you are planning on performing on stage or at any other kind of venue, you really need the Go Keys 5. It has the professional line outputs, which you need for connecting to the mixing desk or the PA, the amplification system. You can kind of do it with this using the headphone output, but it's not ideal. The other thing is, if you're at home, I found that recording these over USB direct to the computer and the DAW works perfect. So for home use, both of these are fine. Also, if you really want that vocal harmonizer feature, which is actually very nice, then again, you have no choice. You have to step up and get the Go Keys 5 because it's missing on here. If you just want the microphone input, I wouldn't worry too much about it being missing here, because most times if you're performing with a microphone, singing and playing keys at the same time, you're probably using some kind of mixing desk anyway. So in most cases, I don't think you'd want to connect the microphone directly to the keyboard, although it's kind of convenient and means you don't have to lug around a mixer. Yeah, the speakers were definitely audibly better on this one, but only when playing them back to back, really. I've had a lot of enjoyment playing both of these through the built-in speakers. If you like the really cool colours, well, those are only available on the 3, so this is what you'll have to get. The other thing, at $350, this is amazing value for money. I can't think of anything from any other manufacturer that can compete with this at this price. So it's a bit of a no-brainer. Just think what you're getting. You're getting the flagship Roland sound engine, the Zen Core, built-in speakers, the fabulous sounding styles, all the computer connectivity, the Bluetooth, and so on and so on. For $350, it's a bit of a no-brainer. It could almost be a spontaneous purchase, really, at that price. But when we step up to this at $500, well, I think you'll find there's more stiff competition from the other brands at this price. And you definitely need to be comparing this with the offerings from Casio, Yamaha, for example, perhaps even Korg at this price. So yeah, it's not quite as much a spontaneous purchase. It's not such an obvious deal when we start getting into the $500 territory. I hope you see what I'm getting at. $350, yeah, it's a no-brainer. This one, well, you need to give it a little bit more thought. Now, which would I get? Well, I'm not really gigging or playing on stage, and I like those cool colours. I'd love to get one of these in turquoise, for example. So for me, I choose the 3 and use that $150 I saved to buy something else cool. Thank you very much for watching. I'll see you next time. Cheerio.
Is this just real life, or is it fantasy? What you get for $500 is pretty amazing, I think you'll agree.